had some.
All right, so we are live. All right, so welcome to our murder mystery, No Honor Among Thieves. Here's our setting. The sun dips low on the horizon, casting a fiery glow across the choppy waters of the Caribbean Sea. The scent of salt and sea spray fills the air as the aging wooden planks creak beneath the weight of the pirate ship, the Black Kraken. Its sails, tattered and worn from countless voyages, billow in the brisk wind as the vessel cuts through the waves with a relentless determination. Just please remember, we're filming and we're going live on this, so this camera will pick up all conversations happening in the room. Amidst the backdrop of the vast ocean, the Black Kraken stands as a formidable sight. Its black hull adorned with faded crimson stripes. The Black Kraken stands a formidable sight, its black hull adorned with faded crimson stripes, a testament to its bloody past. Cannons line the weathered deck, their barrels gleaming menacingly in the fading light, while the Jolly Roger flutters defiantly from the mast, a symbol of terror to all who dare cross its path. The crew of the Black Kraken is a motley assortment of rogues and scoundrels, each with their own dark secrets and hidden agendas. From the grizzled captain, whose weathered face bears the scars of countless battles, to the cunning first mate, whose piercing gaze misses nothing.
She gets violent, doesn't she?
Leonore, we're
trying to beat you up.
Everything you say is we're filming and we're live on YouTube, so everything you say is being picked up. Okay. As night descends upon the ship, casting shadows that dance eerily across the deck, a sense of unease settles over the crew. For amidst the chaos of life at sea, a far more sinister threat lurks in their midst. A murderer whose blade thirsts for blood. With nowhere to run and nowhere to hide, the crew of the Black Kraken must unravel the mystery of the murder before they become the next victims in a deadly game of cat and mouse. But with loyalties tested and alliances shattered, the true killer may be closer than they ever imagined, lurking in the shadows waiting to strike again. Our victim, the first mate of the Black Kraken, was known as Redbeard Jackson, a burly and weather-beaten man whose fiery temper matched his crimson facial hair. He earned his name not only from his distinctive beard, but also from the countless foes who had felt the sting of his blade in battle. Redbeard Jackson met his untimely demise under the cover of darkness, as the moon cast a faint silver glow upon the deck of the ship. The crew had retired to their hammocks for the night, leaving only a skeleton watch to patrol the vessel. It was during this quiet hour that the first mate met his fate. The details of his murder remain shrouded in mystery, the only clues being the trail of blood leading from the stern to the bow of the ship. Some whisper of a shadowy figure lurking in the darkness, their footsteps silent as they stalk their prey. Others speak of the glint of steel flashing in the moonlight, a silent promise of death. When Redbeard Jackson's lifeless body was discovered at dawn's first light, it was evident that his death had been swift and brutal. A single gash across his throat, deep and jagged, told the scale of a skilled hand wielding a deadly blade. But who amongst the crew possessed the skill and cunning to commit such a heinous act, and what dark motives lay behind the murder of the captain's trusted confidant? These questions lingered in the minds of the crew, casting a pall of suspicion over the once tight-knit community aboard the Black Kraken. Our suspects. First, we have Jean playing the role of Captain Anne Ironclad O'Malley. A formidable woman with a reputation as fierce as the stormy seas she sails. Captain O'Malley earned her moniker Ironclad for her unyielding resolve and her unwavering command of the Black Kraken. Her past is shrouded in mystery, with whispers of betrayal and vengeance following in her wake. Her experience as one of the few pirate captains of the fairer sex has created an image of a woman who takes no gruff off any man and is ruthless in her efforts to keep her crew under control. Next up, we have Elena Whisper Moreno, played by MTV. A skilled navigator and the only woman among the crew capable of rivaling Redbeard Jackson in combat. Despite her diminutive stature, Elena possesses a sharp mind and a quick wit, earning her the respect of her fellow pirates. However, beneath her calm exterior lies a woman with a troubled past, haunted by secrets she dare not speak aloud. Some say she is fleeing her history, driven by a desire to establish her worth among her newly found peers.
Arr.
Arr. Arr. Next, we have Isabella Siren Cruz, played by Sharon. We're not going to applaud for her.
Sharon.
Don't blame your wife. A sultry temptress whose beauty is as deadly as the siren's call. Isabella Siren Cruz is known for her silver tongue and her ability to manipulate men with little more than a smile. Rumors swirl of a tumultuous love affair between her and Redbeard Jackson, fraught with jealousy and betrayal. Could her passion have driven her to commit the ultimate act of betrayal? Next, we have John Silent Blade Roberts, a brooding figure whose past is as enigmatic as the shadows he moves within. John is the ship's master at arms, his skill with the blade unmatched by any other member of the crew. A flipper. Despite his stoic demeanor, whispers of a troubled childhood and a thirst for vengeance linger in the air whenever he is near. Perhaps his quiet nature is a facade to hide a darker truth. And finally, we have Marcus Jolly Smith, played by a jovial rogue whose laughter masks a cunning intellect and a talent for deception. Marcus Jolly Smith serves as the ship's quartermaster. I promise I didn't get into the wrong. His affable nature earning him the trust of his fellow pirates. Yet beneath his cheerful facade lies a man with a checkered past. His true loyalty is known only to himself. Could his friendly demeanor be a guise to conceal something more sinister? All right, so now we are aboard the ship, the Black Kraken. The moon is a silver crescent in the dark sky, casting pale light over the heaving deck of the Black Kraken. The waves crash against the hull, constant roar in the background. The crew's murmurs are a mixture of suspicion and fear. At the center of it all lies the lifeless body of Redbeard Jackson, a dark pool of blood reflecting the moonlight. The crew gathers, their faces a mix of hardened lines and shadows, as Captain Ann Ironclad O'Malley steps forward, her heavy boots thudding on the wooden deck. Her voice is commanding, cutting through the sea's noise as she addresses her motley crew.
Arr! Listen up, you scallywags. There's a murder among us. Redbeard met his demise by treachery most foul, and by the powers. We'll not let this killer walk free on this deck. I'm having answers before dawn breaks, and by me named, I'll keyhole every last one of you.
Captain, I suggest we keep a level head. Accusing willy-nilly will only stir their pot. We need to think about the real cause to silence Redbeard.
And what of secrets, Elena? Perhaps those with hidden truths. If Redbeard's tongue was too loose.
Redbeard had no lack of enemy. Any one of us could be standing over his corpse. Now consider who benefits the most from his past.
Oh, yeah, benefits indeed. Gold, power, or simply silence. What's it to be, mates? What's worth more than a man's life in this cursed vessel? Now, where's the rum?
Yeah, where is it?
Went wrong.
What's going on?
We have two mysteries tonight. The crew shifts uncomfortably, the tension thick as the fog that begins to roll in from the sea. Captain O'Malley steps closer to Redbeard's body, her eyes scanning the blood-stained deck.
Enough chatter. We'll start by retracing Redbeard's steps. Someone saw something, and by the devil's beard, you'll spark up or answer to me. By me blade. Jolly, you with me? The rest of you keep watch. The murderer might strike again if we turn our backs.
The crew disperses reluctantly, forming small groups, their whispers merging with the sounds of the waves. Captain O'Malley kneels beside Redbeard, her face set in grim determination as the scene closes on the tumultuous deck of the Black Kraken, a ship now sailing through troubled waters. The room is dimly lit by a single lantern hanging from a beam above. Maps and seat charts are scattered across a large oak desk, alongside a flintlock pistol and a compass. Captain O'Malley and Marcus Jolly Smith stand over the deck, a logbook open between them.
Here, Redbeard's duties last night. He was to inspect the cargo at midnight's watch. Did anyone accompany him?
Hey, Captain. He went alone. Said he fancied a quiet look without the usual babble. We pirates need to be of the solitary type.
And where were you, Jolly? You're often nipping at his heels.
I was in the galley, swapping tales with the cook. We heard nothing, save for the usual creaks and groans of this ship.
We need to verify that. Now, unto his enemies, we know he had run-ins with several crew members lately. What can you tell me about that?
Redbeard be a hard man, made plenty of enemies. But recently, he and John had words over weapons allocations. And Isabella, well, everybody knows about their falling out.
I'll speak to them both. And Elena, she's too quiet by half. Knowing more than she lets on, I reckon.
Elena's a closed book, Captain. But she's sharp. Keep your ears open. Might be she heard something that night.
I'll pry that book open if need be. We can't let the murderer think we's getting away with it.
The deck is quieter now. Most of the crew is asleep except for a few keeping watch. Captain O'Malley steps out from her quarters, her eyes scanning the deck, each step deliberate. She heads towards Elena, who is standing by the rail, looking out at the sea.
Elena, a moment of your time.
Of course, Captain.
Elena, I need to know what you've heard. Any whispers? Any grumbles from the crew about Redbeard?
There's talk, Captain. John wasn't pleased with how Redbeard handled his armory. Found him too reckless, too wasteful, and Isabella, their last argument was heated, even for them. They're quite a pair, those two.
Thank you, Elena. Keep your ears open and your eyes sharp. This isn't over.
The scene opens with John Silent Blade Roberts on the deck, inspecting a set of ropes near where Redbeard's body was found. His inspection is methodical, his hands feeling along the fibers for signs of recent disturbance. Captain O'Malley approaches, her expression stern and watchful.
What have you got there, John?
me and my rope. I got a rope. Rope's been currently cut recently, Captain. I mean, the rope has been cut recently, Captain. Clean through with a sharp blade. It was part of the rigging above where the Redbeard was found.
And who, John, could have cause to tamper with this if not our resident master of arms, who knows his way around ropes and blades?
I handle weapons, Captain, not rigging. If you're implying I use my blade here, you're mistaken. I've no reason to kill Redbeard. Our disputes are nothing but more than words.
If we're speaking of blades, let's not forget who else wields them, and perhaps some have more personal scores to settle than others.
And what of your scores, Isabella? Your quarrels with Redbeard were no secret. Passion can drive one to dark deeds.
Yes, we fought, but killing him, that benefits me none. I'd rather make him suffer, living them, than silence him forever.
Found this tucked away behind the barrel near the forecastle. Seems someone tried to hide it away. Care to guess whose blade this might be?
That's one of the standard issues. Any of us could have taken it from the armory.
True enough. But it's found close to where Isabella was stationed last night.
Ah. Being nearby doesn't make me a murderer. Perhaps it was planted to frame me.
Or perhaps it's as it appears. But without more, we can't conclude. We'll keep this safe until we know more. Everybody's on watch tonight. No more secrets. No more silence. Keep this blade with you, Elena, secured, and keep a keen eye. The killer might try to reclaim it or dispose of other evidence.
Sorry. The crew disperses, unease and suspicion lingering as they return to their duties. Captain O'Malley remains on deck, watching the waves crash against the ship, her mind clearly racing with the weight of leadership and the burden of justice. The scene opens with the crew gathered around, the lanterns casting long shadows on their stern faces. Elena stands at the center, holding the bloody dagger carefully wrapped in cloth. Captain O'Malley has called an impromptu meeting to address the growing tension and suspicion among the crew.
We've all felt the shadow of mistrust growing heavier since Redbeard's death. It's time we clean the air. Every one of us has reason, maybe motives, but it's time to speak them aloud. We'll start with you, John. You and Redbeard clashed over weapons, over orders. Tell us plainly, why should we think you harbored such grave enough, a grudge enough to lead to murder?
Our disputes were professional. He challenged my methods, I his. But killing him gains me nothing. It only brings me chaos, and chaos is bad for discipline and bad for all of us.
And you, Isabella, the passion between you and Redbeard was no secret. Did it turn to hatred, to murder?
Our love was as fierce as our fights. Yes, we ended badly, but to murder him? I'm no fool. I know the dangers of letting emotions dictate actions on a ship like this. I'd never jeopardize my standing or my life over a man. We be smarter than that.
Arr.
Blasphemy. If jealousy were enough for murder, we'd all be dead by now. Let's be sensible. We need to think about who gains from Red Bear's death.
And let's not forget the Deckers present. Near Isabella. Yes, but also on a path. Anyone could have made walk. It's easy to find evidence where it casts doubt.
Marcus, you're the quartermaster. You know the ins and outs of every nook on this ship. If someone wanted to hide Cummings or hides Cummings or someone, you'd be the one to consult. What's your take on this?
I keep the ledgers and the spirits high, Captain. Redbeard's death throws us all into disarray, which is bad for business and worse for my sleep. No, I didn't kill him, but we're keen on finding out who did.
We're a crew. We're in this together. But a murderer hiding amongst us, and we rooted them out. Elena, keep this dagger safe. Everybody else, keep one. Trust is sacred, but let's not fall into paranoia.
The crew members exchange looks, their faces a mix of suspicion, fear, and determination. As they disperse, the camera focuses, I'll just type that, on Captain O'Malley's troubled expression, the weight of command, and the fear of a hidden enemy clear in her eyes. I had written some instructions to myself if I was going to play around with using the camera, but I changed my mind. All right, so this is our first opportunity for the audience to cast their votes on who they think the murderer might be. So who thinks that Marcus is our killer? No votes.
Thank you very much.
How about John? How about Isabella?
Oh, yeah.
How about Elena? Oh, we got a couple votes for Elena. And how about our captain? Oh, we got a couple votes for the captain. All right.
Just the crew.
There's Linda had her hand up too.
Okay.
All right. The air is thick with tension as the crew of the Black Kraken gathers in the dimly lit mess hall. The storm outside mirrors the growing storm within, as the wooden hull groans and creaks under the pressure of both. Captain O'Malley stands at the head of the table, her gaze sweeping over her crew like a hawk.
We can't let suspicion tear us apart.
Why not?
We are here on the open sea, and if we don't trust each other, we're as good as dead. Now, speak freely. What accusations need to be aired? Let's have them all out now.
We're talking trust, Captain. Maybe it's time we talked about how you got to be captain. There are whispers, Captain, whispers that maybe the last captain didn't just disappear overboard. He was...
Oh, what about that?
Yes, the last captain met his fate at sea by accident. If your suggestion I had in a hand in it, it's just plain stupid.
Right.
It's curious, isn't it? A tragic accident and suddenly you're the captain? Convenient how accidents happen when you stand to gain from them.
Let's not jump overboard with theories, mates. I wonder how you got that southern accent when you're from Massachusetts. That's not... The last captain was... We all know the last captain was more washed up than a benched whale. Oh, there's one of them now. Maybe he just fell over trying to find his sea legs.
It's not just about Captain's past. We need to consider who benefits now. Redbeard was no friend to many. His temper was as fiery as his beard.
And let's not forget, Isabella, he was about to expose you. liaisons with several of the crew. Your liaisons. Perhaps enough motive for murder?
Ridiculous. Yes, we ended badly, but that's private. I would never kill for such a reason. We all be better than that.
How many times do I need to say it? The sails are ready. We are better than that. The mermaids are annoying. We seriously need to work on our grammar. Anyway, this bickering gets us nowhere. We're a crew, not savages. We solve this together or we hang separately. John, you have the skills in tracking. I want you to examine the scene again. Elena, help him. Now, for everyone, for anything, looking for anything we may have missed.
And what about you, Captain? Where will your alibi stand when we start turning stones?
I was navigating a storm alone, but necessary. Without me, the Black Kraken would have been splintered by now. Remember, loyalty cuts both ways, Marcus.
John and Elena navigate the dimly lit corridors of the Black Kraken, their lanterns casting flickering shadows against the wooden walls. They reach the cargo hold, where Redbeard's body was discovered, and begin their search anew. Elena spots something glinting in the corner and bends down to retrieve it. She holds up a small, ornate earring stained with dried blood. Small is relative.
Ornate was good though.
This wasn't here before. It must belong to the murderer.
Isabella, it's hers, isn't it? She always wore jewelry like this. That probably you made it.
Elena. Right here.
Aye, she did. This doesn't look good for her.
Meanwhile, in the mess hall, Isabella sits with Marcus, her expression carefully composed as she watches the rest of the crew.
They're closing in on me, Marcus. I can feel it, but I didn't do it. I swear on the seas. May Davy Jones's locker take me if I'm lying.
We need to think fast. If they find out you wore that earring, they'll hang you from the mast before dawn.
Then we need to turn the tables. Pin it on someone else, John. He's been sulking around. Oh, John. He's been skulking around, asking questions, poking his nose where it doesn't belong. Let's make him escape.
Yeah, let's do it.
I don't know, Isabella. Blaming John might just make the others more suspicious of us.
Trust me, Marcus, we need to survive this, and if that means sacrificing someone else to the sharks, so be it.
Back in the cargo hold, John and Elena continue their search, unaware of the scheming above. But as they uncover more evidence implicating Isabella, the shadows grow darker, and the line between truth and deception becomes ever more blurred. All right, next chance to lodge our votes for who the killer is. Who thinks Marcus? Well, we got to vote for Marcus now. How about John?
Yeah.
Well, we got to vote for John. How about Isabella?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
What about Elena?
You're a killer.
No votes for Elena. And how about Captain O'Malley? Oh, we picked up a couple of votes for Captain O'Malley there. All right, the crew gathers once again in the dimly lit mess hall, their faces drawn and tense, as Captain O'Malley stands at the head of the table, holding the blood-stained earring aloft. Isabella and Marcus exchange anxious glances, their hands clenched tightly.
Isabella,
care to explain why your earring is found in the cargo hold and stained with Redbeard's blood?
I don't know how it got there, Captain, but I swear on me life, I had nothing to do with Redbeard's death.
Aye, Captain, it's a setup. John was seen lurking near the cargo hold earlier. He's been trying to pin this on Isabella from the start.
That's a lie. I've been searching for clues trying to uncover the truth. Isabella has a motive, means, and now evidence against her.
And what evidence do you have against me, John? Your word against mine? You've been gunning for me since this started.
Enough! We're getting nowhere with accusations and finger pointing. Isabella, Marcus, John, we need to focus on finding the truth. We need evidence, not conjecture.
Fine, we'll find the truth. But mark my words, John, you won't escape suspicion so easily.
Captain O'Malley sits alone at her desk, the flickering light of a single candle casting eerie shadows across the room. Her brow furrowed in deep thought, she flips through the pages of an old logbook, her mind racing with the weight of the accusations and suspicion swirling around her. Suddenly, a knock at the door breaks the silence.
And the run pause.
Startled, O'Malley quickly closes the logbook and calls out.
Enter.
Captain, we need to talk.
What's on your mind, Marcus?
It's about Redbeard's death, Captain. I've been doing some digging and I've uncovered something unexpected.
Go on.
I found an old journal tucked away in the ship's archives. It belonged to the previous captain, the one who disappeared, and it seems he had some damning information about you, Captain.
What kind of information?
He believed you were responsible for his disappearance. He suspected foul play.
That's absurd. I would never.
Before she can finish her sentence, the door bursts open and Isabella storms into the room, her eyes blazing with fury.
Captain, we need to talk. It's about John. What's going on here?
What's going on here? We've been about to uncover the truth, Isabel, about Redbeard's death, about the previous captain's disappearance, and about me.
As the weight of O'Malley's words sink in, the room is filled with an uneasy tension, the mysteries of the Black Kraken threatening to unravel in the flickering light of the candle. The crew gathers once again in the mess hall, the air heavy with tension and anticipation. Captain O'Malley stands at the head of the table, her expression grim as Isabella and Marcus flank her, their faces mirroring her solemnity.
I have something to confess. Marcus has uncovered damning evidence from the previous captain's journal. He suspected me of foul play in his disappearance.
Captain, is this true?
Yes, it's true. But I swear to you, I had nothing to do with the previous captains. He was reckless, unpredictable. He vanished without a trace, and I was left to pick up the pieces. I never wanted this life, but circumstances forced my hand.
Yeah, and what about Redbeard? Were you forced into that as well?
No, Redbeard's death was a tragedy, but I'm not responsible for it. I have dedicated my life to this ship, to keeping you all safe. I will not let baseless accusations tear us apart.
But the evidence, the earring, it was found with Redbeard's blood.
That evidence is circumstantial at best. We can't let fear and suspicion cloud our judgment. We need to focus on finding the real killer, not tearing each other apart.
He's right. We need to work together to uncover the truth. We owe it to Redbeard, the previous captain, and to each other.
As the crew absorbs the weight of O'Malley's words, the room falls into a heavy silence, the flickering candlelight casting long shadows on their troubled faces. But amidst the uncertainty and suspicion, a glimmer of determination shines through, the resolve to uncover the truth and bring justice to the Black Kraken, no matter the cost. All right, so here is our final opportunity to cast your votes to who you think the killer is. So we'll go back to Marcus. No votes.
Is there a double?
We don't know yet. We'll find out in the next scene. So who thinks Marcus is potentially the killer? All right, how about John?
God, nobody likes me anymore.
How about Isabella? So you're thinking Isabella and Marcus are in it together. Okay.
Yes.
All right. How about Elena? And how about the captain?
I think there's two people involved.
You think there's two people involved?
For
So
some reason.
we're about to find out. So for our final scene, the crew gathers once more in Captain O'Malley's quarters. The atmosphere thick with tension and apprehension. Captain O'Malley stands at her desk, her expression resolute, as she faces the accusing stares of her crewmates. Isabella steps forward, her voice trembling with emotion.
Captain, we can't ignore the evidence. The earring, the journal, it all points to you.
I understand your doubts, Isabella, but I assure you, I am not the killer. There's more to this than meets the eye.
You expect us to believe that? After everything that's come to light, the evidence speaks for itself, Captain.
But what about your past, Captain? The suspicions surrounding the previous captain's disappearance? There's so much smoke for there not to be a fire.
My past may be murky, but I'm not a murderer. Someone is trying to frame me to cast doubts on my leadership. But I swear on my life, I'm innocent.
You are not alone, that claim, Captain. I have uncovered the truth. The real killer stands among us.
Elena, what do you mean?
The killer is none other than Captain O'Malley.
Elena, this is madness. Why would you accuse me?
Because, Captain, you didn't kill Redbeard out of malice or revenge. You killed him to protect us all.
What do you mean?
Redbeard discovered the truth about the previous captain's disappearance. He found evidence that you implicated you, Captain. He threatened to expose you, to tear the crew apart. You killed him to protect us, to keep the truth buried at the bottom of the sea.
I did what I thought was necessary, but at what cost?
As the realization sinks in, the crew looks on in stunned silence, grappling with the shocking truth of their captain's actions.
So what do we do now? Make her walk the plank?
We do like to make people do that. It's kind of our thing.
I agree, ruining her on a desert island might be fine, but darn it, I want somebody to walk a plank.
Or we could remember that we're pirates, and we like killing too. It's just below plundering and burying our treasure only to forget where we put it.
Pirates we be, more plundering and more killing for all.
All right.